Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will begin separately categorizing firearm purchases at gun stores. This comes after gun rights advocates pressed the financial industry to do more to help curb mass shootings.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about major credit card companies flagging your gun purchase at a gun store separately from other purchases. So before this recent move, if you were to go to a gun store, use your credit card to buy anything in the store, it'd be listed under general purchase or something like that. But now, if you buy anything in a gun store, you have one of these credit cards mentioned in a minute, it'll be listed specifically as a gun purchase. Now, why is that important? Why is that relevant? Well, you might want to know if you're being tracked as far as what you're buying. Why are you being tracked for the gun specifically, or for anything bought in the gun store? Is it because they think you might be a mass shooter? Is it because they think you might go out there and commit some kind of crime? Is it because they think you're going to be a straw purchaser and buy that gun for someone else? I mean, what's really going on? Are they going to use that information to potentially close your credit card, to close your bank account? I mean, what's going on? Now, before I go any further into it, let's watch this news clip. I've not seen the news clip. I've read about the story, but I've not seen the news clip. So let's see what they'll say. And of course, this video will be in the description if you want to see it without my commentary. Let's go ahead and load it on up.
And some big news over the weekend. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will now officially begin tracking gun shops with a new merchant code. It's a victory for gun control advocates who've been pressing the financial sector to do more to help curb gun violence. Previously, gun shops were mostly categorized as specialty retailers. It was really a generic term that meant that you could be selling tents or sneakers, and the credit card companies and the banks didn't know. The card companies say they will work to support lawful purchases and protect consumer privacy. In the next hour, we're going to talk.
Let's pause for a minute here because this is crazy. Why would Visa, American Express, why would they be involved in crime fighting? Shouldn't that be up to the federales and local law enforcement? Why are they involved in crime fighting? And how is it about crime fighting when I'm just purchasing something legally? Okay, if I'm using my credit card, I'm probably purchasing something legal. I'm not gonna go to a store and buy something illegal with my credit card. Typically, it's not how that works. So why are they really involved with trying to fight crime? Are you talking about legal purchases? Should that be their job? Should that be something that they are tasked with doing? I'm not really sure that it's appropriate, but let's continue.
To Amalgamated Bank CEO Priscilla Sims Brown, who took this idea, which I started talking about it back in 2008 on this show, or 2018, I should say, on this show, right after the Parkland shootings, and actually went through a remarkable process that we're going to talk about, where she ended up applying on behalf of the bank to get this code created. There was a huge pushback by the credit.
Oh, so she did it. So she's the one that created the code. What's her name now? Let's put it on the screen. This is Priscilla Sims Brown from Amalgamated Bank. Is this a bank or is it like some kind of group of banks? I'm not really sure. Y'all let me know in the comments. But if that's a specific bank you can go to, I'm definitely not going to be banking there. And the way things looking right now, I mean, you got Visa and MasterCard. It's going to be hard to really get beyond this.
There was a huge pushback by the credit card companies. In fact, the original application was rejected, and they went back at it again.
Weren't you? I thought you didn't want credit cards to be able to be used to buy them at all. Was your?
No.
You never. That was never
the
your
idea. No, the idea back in 2018 was very direct, which was that we have an opportunity potentially, in the same way that we track domestic terrorism post 9/11 and the laws that we put in place.
Domestic terrorism. Do you hear what's being said here? You, regular law-abiding citizen, you go to buy a gun or anything in the gun store. You could buy ammunition. You could buy a scope. You could buy whatever you want. A bag for your weapon. Anything you buy in the store, they're going to list that with a special code because you could be akin to a domestic terrorist.
That you could use those effective same laws to try to identify suspicious behavior and buying patterns in advance. And that the credit card companies and the banks were one of the few outlets that had the opportunity to be part of that and to do that in the same way that they have done for the last 20 years.
Now, here's a question. If there's a quote unquote suspicious pattern, first of all, who would determine that? Who makes that determination? Is it the credit card companies themselves? So if they see some things that to them look suspicious, they're going to call the police on you. And then what are the police going to do? They're going to come to your home and say, hey, you've bought X, Y, and Z legal weapon. Let's go ahead and see it. Can we get those? Are you going to get arrested? Is it a crime if you don't hand over your legally purchased weapons? This is a clear violation of the Second Amendment. I mean, if it's not, then y'all please let me know in the comments. But this appears to be a clear violation of the Second Amendment. But let's keep on going.
Post 9/11, and that in most mass shootings, and this is the statistic that matters, 77% of the most deadly mass shootings in America were bought legally and, importantly, with credit cards. And in most cases, the shooter who bought all of those materials could not have purchased them, could not have afforded to purchase them with cash.
Right.
They didn't have the cash.
Let's pause for a minute again. So when you say 77% of all the mass shootings, are we talking about the ones that made the news, like Parkland and whatnot? We're talking about that, or anytime there's a shooting where there's, I think the definition is 3 or 4 or more people that have been shot at once. So what are we talking about specifically? First of all. Second of all, again, how are you going to actually stop someone from purchasing a gun? Because what is suspicious activity? All right, I buy 2 guns Saturday morning. Is that suspicious? But then Monday morning, someone may take those guns they bought Saturday and then go out and commit a mass shooting. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to actually prevent that from happening as far as the person buying the guns and then going to shoot? All you really can do is have tighter security in places where the mass shooting typically happens, school, church, whatever, have tighter security. How are you really going to prevent them from doing that with this credit card code? I'm having a hard time understanding. All that I see happening is regular normies who will be harassed by this. They say 77% of all the mass shootings that they want to talk about were committed with guns that are purchased legally. But how many of the guns that are purchased legally are used in the mass shooting? That's the question. Give me that percentage. What, 1%? Less than 1%? A fraction of a percent? There's over 325 million guns in the wild in America. How many of them are used in mass shootings? You tell me.
You never wanted to make it illegal to buy guns with credit cards.
I thought that's what there may be,
because I remember we used to talk about this. I thought you didn't want.
There may be credit card companies or certain banks or other financial services providers who say to themselves, you know what, this is not the business we want to be in.
Exactly.
And now, by the way, if they.
So what he's saying right here is that some banks may say you're not going to be able to buy anything from a gun store, especially guns used in this credit card, like using the Visa or American Express. Now, we're not quite there, but that could be coming up, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. This is why having a cashless society is bad, because you see how easily they can control you. They can control you already. They're talking about, well, all right, you want to buy certain things in certain places, although it's legal, although you have the right to buy it, we don't want to be involved in that kind of business. We do not want a liability. We have certain standards for our company. So you can't buy this, and you can't buy that, and you can't buy this. Well, if you have cash, then they can't tell you what to do. But then when there's no cash in society, when everything's digital, then they can't control you. You see how that works? You don't have a gas-powered vehicle. It's all electric. We can control that. We can control your money. We can control everything about you. You become a slave again. This is something that is very troubling. Even if you're not a gun owner, if you're not a gun enthusiast, this should be very troubling, not just for the gun aspect of it, but as far as the control from the bank telling you what you can and cannot buy with your own hard-earned money. It's legal. You're not committing a crime, but yet they say you can't buy it because we don't want you to be involved in it. That's where we're going.
They want to do that, given now that there'll be a coding system, they can make that choice. And so I'm sure there'll be debates about that. But the larger opportunity here for everybody who has children, who cares about teachers and Americans here, and yes, there may be 100 or 1,000 people annually who will be lawful citizens who will be inconvenienced by an extra phone call that they will have to take either from a credit card company or the police. But I would argue
just
to you,
verify that it's them.
And I would argue to you that inconvenience, if it saves a life or it saves 50, is one of the most worthy trades that this country will ever.
You know what? I'm going to just end on this note. You're talking about a minor inconvenience, extra phone call. That minor inconvenience already exists. It's called a background check. That's a federal piece of legislation. It's already in existence. Whenever I go to a gun shop and buy a gun, I have to pass a background check. I get my ID, pass a background check, then I get my gun that way. That's how it works. So what is this whole thing about the bank going to do that a background check can't do? That'll be the most important thing. See, the whole bank thing appears to be about control. That's what it's about, to prevent you, the regular law-abiding citizen, from being able to buy a gun, period. It doesn't matter if you have no criminal history, if you are a perfect model citizen, you are a great mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, auntie, uncle. It doesn't matter. They don't want you to have it. So let me come back here so you can see me clearly. This is a crazy story, and this is exactly why I do not support a cashless society. You got to have cash. You got to be able to buy and sell things without the permission of the banking system, without the permission of the moral police. You're not doing anything illegal, so why are you being prevented from doing it? It's because they want you to do certain things. They want you to behave in a certain kind of way. See, they want to enact gun control through several back doors. That's what's going on. Oh, because it's unsafe. It's a health violation. We got C-19. Oh, well, I don't want to be involved because there's a new code for it. And if that code matches up, and I got a bunch of these codes that match up, and they link that code to my bank, then I'm in trouble. And then I'm a CEO, I'm a owner or whatever of a particular bank, of this particular credit card processing company. I don't want that to be affiliated with me. Matter of fact, you are a person that's been canceled on social media. Okay, let's go ahead and cut your credit card off, cut your bank off. We're going to just cut you off completely from society. This is like that Black Mirror episode when they were talking about the social credit score. And if you have a low social credit score, you can't even really participate in society. That's where we're going right here. Very scary, not good at all. It doesn't matter which side of the argument about guns that you're on, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about this story? Is it a good thing that it's happening? Is it a bad thing? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I am totally 100% against this, and I hope that it does not go through. Well, I mean, I guess it's here. It's already here, but I hope that it gets reversed, and I hope that this is not used to control the American people as far as what we can buy and what we can't buy, even though it's legal. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.